scholars, welcome back to our page. Remember, yesterday we started reading a super juicy tale about a girl named Chrysanthemum. And remember, everyone in school thought Chrysanthemum was such a silly name. And that didn't make Chrysanthemum feel very well. Scholars, remember, we were using inferences to find out character traits. And remember, an inference is when we use text, evidence, and our schema to figure out what the character trait is. So, remember, our schema is what we already know. Our schema is what we already know. So we're using that text evidence and our schema to figure out these character traits. So if you remember yesterday, I had a sheet that had this. And I used my text evidence and the schema to figure out the character trait that in the story, in the beginning, Chrysanthemum was really proud of her name. Because we had evidence that she loved the way it looked like on an envelope, how it looked on a cake, and how it looked in her big orange crayon. Then we also knew in our schema, if someone talks a lot about something, that usually means that they're proud about it. So today, I want us to use that evidence from the text and our schema, what we already know, again, to figure out some more character traits of Chrysanthemum. So, scholars, if you have a parent with you right now or yourself, there's a link below that has the direct link to the read aloud of Chrysanthemum. And you're going to start at 6:06 to finish the rest of our story. So pause here. Okay, great. So, you should have just finished the story of Chrysanthemum. And now, I want you to go back to minute 7:39. So, if you just watched that part of the story, we know that Chrysanthemum puts on a shirt that has a bunch of different pockets so she can collect good luck charms. So that's some evidence from the text, and I think that she's cautious. I think she's cautious because she's collecting a bunch of good luck charms. And when I know when someone needs good luck, it's because maybe they're worried about something and they're taking extra steps to make sure that something doesn't happen. So they're being cautious, they're thinking about what might happen and taking steps so that does not happen. So, now I want you to go and try to go back to that and go to 11:12. So in the story, we see Rita, Joe, and Victoria talking to Miss Twinkle. And at that time that we just saw them, what do we think that Victoria, Joe, and Rita were feeling? If you said jealous, I agree. I think that Rita, Joe, and Victoria are jealous because Miss Twinkle thought it was really cool that Chrysanthemum had the name of a flower, because she also had the name of a flower, Miss Delphinium. Delphinium's another type of flower. So, she thought it was so cool that Chrysanthemum was named after a flower. So then also, Rita, Joe, and Victoria were jealous that she thought she was cool. So then they all started saying names of flowers that they wanted. All right, scholars, so now that I modeled some of those character traits that I noticed in the reading, I want to know, what character traits did you read or notice in the text? Remember, we're going to use that text evidence just like I did in the past two examples. And our schema is what we already know. We're going to use those skills to be able to make our character traits and tell maybe our brothers or sisters, our mommies or daddies, our aunties, uncles, or grandma and grandpas, whoever we're with, what character traits that you noticed in the text. So think about it. If you didn't notice any or you couldn't think of any, maybe some other ones I thought of were embarrassed or happy. See what else you can notice from chrysanthemums. And remember, we're using that text, evidence, and schema. All right, scholars, I hope you had a great time learning and finishing up the story of Chrysanthemum. I'm so excited for our story that I will read or send you and ask you questions about again tomorrow. Bye.